Hey folks, welcome back or welcome to Midnight Raceway Park. I'm Steve, and in this video we wrap up the 4x4 Mountainside Pick'em tournament. After round 1, we have 8 vehicles remaining, and by the end of the video someone could be receiving a Hot Wheels mystery model. So let's get the show going. The first group consists of the Koenigsegg Jesko, driven by Diecast Daily Driver, the unmanned Volkswagen ID Buzz, the C6 Corvette, driven by RWA Racing, and Forhaus Games driving the C5 Corvette. For race 1, the Volkswagen is starting in P1 with the Jesko next to it in the front row. Looks like an early tough break for the Volkswagen. C6 Corvette sneaks by the Jesko for second, but the C5 takes the win and the Jesko finishes third. Race 2 will start with the Jesko on the pole. This time, it's the Jesko who can't maintain its lane and wrecks coming out of turn 2. The C6 Corvette finishes on top, followed by the Volkswagen and the C5 Corvette. The C5 Corvette will now start from the pole for race 3. For the third race in a row, a car fails to make it through turn 2. This time, the C5 Corvette wrecks, almost taking the Volkswagen ID Buzz with it. The Volkswagen and the Jesko got stuck coming out of turn 3, leaving the C6 Corvette the only car to cross the finish line. Going into race 4, the C6 Corvette has locked up its entry into the final round. Can the C5 hold on to second place to join the C6 and compete for the championship? This time, turn 2 claims both the Jesko and the C6 Corvette. And turn 3 takes out the Volkswagen, which means that the C5 Corvette is the only car to cross the finish line, ensuring its entry into the finals. The second group consists of the Shelby Cobra, driven by Dog Squab Racing, the Chevy Stalker, driven by Cut Rocker Diecasting, and the driverless Chevelle SS and Ford Explorer. For race 1, the Shelby Cobra is starting from the pole. What a finish! The first 3 reached the finish line but didn't actually cross it. The C5 Corvette lost control and drove off the track at the last moment, and the Stalker did the same thing on the other side of the finish line. Meanwhile, the Chevelle flips while approaching the finish line and is stopped just shy of the finish line. Finally, coming up last, the Ford Explorer bumps the rear of the Stalker, which in turn hits the Explorer, and both of them cross the finish line almost at the same time, but instant replay shows that the Explorer won by a fender. For the next race, the Chevy Stalker is starting from the pole position. Here we see the Shelby Cobra showing some speed, passing the Ford Explorer. In a close finish, the Stalker edges out the Shelby and the Explorer comes in third. The Ford Explorer will start race 3 from the pole. Now it's the Chevy Stalker showing some speed passing the Ford Explorer. The Stalker takes the checkered, followed by the Explorer and the Chevelle SS. Going into race 4, the Stalker has locked up a position in the final round. Let's see who fills out the final spot for the Battle of the Championship. The Chevelle has the advantage, starting from the pole. As they cross over the small jump by the beach, all heck breaks loose, and the Explorer and Stalker get some air, causing a lack of control and some bumping and rubbing. The Explorer wrecks out and the Chevelle flips up onto its hood, but it still slides across the track to the finish line as the Shelby gives it a bump, pushing it across the finish line. The Stalker comes across P3. Chevelle's win sends it to the final round where it, the Chevy Stalker, the C5 Corvette, and the C6 Corvette will battle it out for the championship. While I have your attention, if you enjoy my channel and content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe. It really does help small channels like mine. Please share these videos and comment, even if you just want to say hi. I really enjoy reading and interacting with the comments. And if you would like to go a step further, you can always buy me a coffee or two. Use the link in the description, and I appreciate you all. Let's get back to the action. We've made it to the finals. Represented are the Chevy Stalker, driven by Cut Rocker Diecast Racing, the Chevelle SS with a Ghost Rider, the C6 Corvette, driven by RWA Racing, and the C5 Corvette, driven by 4Haas Games. Each vehicle will start one race from the pole position, and the C6 Corvette has that advantage to start things off. The Chevelle wrecks out going into turn 2. At the finish line, the C6 had the race won, but crashed into the timing arch at the finish line. The Stalker jumped on the opportunity to take the win, with the C5 taking second. After that victory, the Stalker starts race number 2 from the pole position. The Stalker mimicked the C6 in the previous race and crashed into the timing arch. The Chevelle came out of turn 3 on its roof and took out the rest of the field along with one of the parked show cars beneath the track. As a result, no points were awarded in race 2. For race 3, the Chevelle SS is starting from P1. For a nice change, a clean race results in 5 points awarded to the Chevelle, 3 points to the Stalker, 2 to the C5 Corvette, and 1 point awarded to the C6 Corvette. Heading into the final race, the C6 Corvette has been eliminated, and the Stalker has a 3-point lead over the Chevelle and the C5 Corvette. The C5 has the pole position advantage. Let's watch this again and break it down. Here we can see that the Stalker dropped to P4, opening the door for the C5 Corvette and the Chevelle SS. The C5 moves over to block the Chevelle, but as they hit the short jump, the C5 loses control, but regains it coming out of turn 3 with the Chevelle right on its rear. From here, it's a drag race to the end. And the 4x4 Mountainside champion is 4Haas Games and the C5 Corvette. Congratulations. Hey, 4Haas Games, just shoot me an email at the email address on the screen and I'll get that mystery model out to you as soon as I can. Lastly, none of this would be possible without our drivers. Amy Russell, Bad Dad Hobbies, Cut Rocker Diecasting, D20 Diecaster, Diecasting Daily Driver, Dog Squab Racing, Four Haas Games, Goliath Dave, Grateful Sam, Ralph's Racers, Ralph Racers Jr., and RWA Racing.